The Hummer H3 is a sport utility vehicle from Hummer that was produced from 2005 to 2010. Introduced for the 2006 model year, it was based on the GMT 355 underpinning the Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Canyon compact pickup trucks that were also built at GM's Shreveport operations in Shreveport, Louisiana and the Port Elizabeth plant in South Africa. The H3 was the smallest among the Hummer models, and the only one to be built by General Motors. It was available either as a traditional mid-size SUV or as a mid-size pickup known as the H3T. Powertrains: the H3 was launched with a 3.5-liter straight 5-cylinder L52 engine that produced 220 horsepower and 225 lb-ft of torque and was mated to a standard 5-speed manual transmission or an optional Hydra-Matic 4L60 4-speed automatic transmission. In 2007 this engine was replaced by the 3.7-liter LLR that produced 242 horsepower and 242 lb-ft of torque, figures that were revised in 2009 to 239 horsepower and 241 lb-ft. Under revised EPA testing standards when equipped with either transmission, this straight 5 engine achieved 14 mpg US in the city and 18 mpg US on the highway with a combined average of 15 mpg US. Available solely with the automatic transmission, a 5.3-liter LH8 V8 engine producing 300 horsepower and 320 lb-ft of torque was added in 2008 for the Alpha model. The V8 version had lower fuel economy, estimated at 13 mpg US in the city, 16 mpg US on the highway, with a combined average of 14 mpg US. Capabilities: the H3 featured a 2-speed, electronically controlled full-time 4-wheel drive system that made it for both on-road and off-road driving. Electronic locking front and rear differentials were optional. Like the Hummer H2, the H3 can ford 24 inches of water at a speed of 5 miles per hour and 16 in of water at a speed of 20 miles per hour. Standard ground clearance measured at 9.7 and while the approach, departure, and breakover angles are measured at 37.4 a degree, 34.7 a degree, and 22.1 a degree respectively, allowing the H3 to scale a 16-inch vertical wall and negotiate grades of 60% and side slopes of 40%. Front and rear recovery hooks were standard, with an optional trailer hitch and wiring harness. Maximum towing capacities were 3,000 pounds for the straight 5 with manual transmission, 4,500 pounds for the straight 5 with automatic transmission, and 6,000 pounds for the V8 with automatic transmission. Cargo volume with the second-row seats in the upright position was 25.0 cubic feet that could be expanded to a maximum of 62.8 cubic feet when the seats are folded down. The V8 models featured the least maximum payload capacity of just over 1,100 pounds while straight 5, manual transmission models allowed the greatest payload at 1,300 pounds. Safety: electronic stability control, anti-lock 4-wheel disc brakes, brake-controlled traction control, latch child seat anchors, and tire pressure monitoring were standard features on the H3. Side curtain airbags were optional until 2008 when they were made standard across. The H3 was rated acceptable, the second highest rating, by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety in both frontal offset and side impact crashes and poor, the lowest rating, for rear crash protection head restraints. The U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration gave the 2008 H3 the following scores: frontal driver, frontal passenger, side driver, side rear passenger, AWD rollover. H3T. The Hummer H3T is a mid-size pickup truck that was available during the 2009 and 2010 model years. The vehicle was originally developed as a regular cab concept pickup truck in 2003, that was shown at the 2004 Los Angeles Auto Show. The 5-passenger 4-door crew cab production version appeared at the 2008 Chicago Auto Show. The H3T featured a 5-foot bed with built-in storage boxes and came in standard H3T, H3T Adventure, H3T Luxury, and H3T Alpha trim packages. A road test by Motor Trend reported the 2009 truck crawled up rock steps, ran through sand washes, and navigated steep ledges with confidence and capability to spare. They described its turning radius uncomfortably wide, and said at highway cruising it would have been nice to have a faster, firmer feel. Yearly U.S. sales. International markets. In 2007, GM South Africa launched Hummer production in Port Elizabeth. The plant manufactured the Hummer H3 for the South African market, as well as units exported to Asia and Europe. This factory also manufactured a right-hand drive version for the Australian market between 2007 and 2009. In Australia, the Hummer was distributed by GM Holden by specialist dealerships that were also affiliated with the Saab automobile brand, which was owned by GM at that time. The H3 was qualified in 2010 by the Japanese Transport Ministry for tax breaks that set easier fuel efficiency standards for heavier vehicles. The 4,700-pound H3's 16 mpg US average in city traffic cleared the required Japanese emissions standards relative to its weight. A total of 723 Hummers were sold in Japan during the 12 months before March 2009. Motorsports. Robbie Gordon competed in the 2010 Dakar Rally in a purpose-built, tube-frame chassis H3, finishing 8th overall. Plug-in hybrid. In early 2009, Razor Technologies and FEV built a prototype plug-in hybrid H3 that could achieve up to 100 mpg given enough main power. This vehicle was renamed the Electric Hummer H3, and later showcased by California State Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger at a press conference at the state capitol in Sacramento as part of a campaign to promote greener vehicles. And of the H3, at the end of February 2010, General Motors announced it would begin dismantling the Hummer brand. After filling a rental car fleet order, the last Hummer H3T rolled offline at Shreveport on May 24, 2010. References. External links: Hummer H3.